Hi guys, today I'm very excited to meet Aron, our domain
Hey. Hey.
expert. And now he will share with us the domain industry trends of the insights.
And
Hey,
the first 40 years anniversary of symbolics.com.
Yes.
yeah, it's the 40th anniversary of .coms, the first domain registration, which March 15th, 1985, which makes it the 40th anniversary. I happen to own the very first domain registered ever in
Wow.
the history of the internet. It's symbolics.com, and I bought it in 2009. Very interesting story of me reaching out to the company that originally registered it. Um, they had never wanted to sell it, but it was perfect timing. They decided they wanted to sell it the day that I called. There were hundreds of people that wanted it before, but I called it the exact right time. So I get to own this piece of internet history, and it's been a lot of fun.
How did you
Great.
convince them to sell it to you?
Yes, good
It's a
question.
great question. Hundreds of people have called before. They had just gotten out of a meeting and they said we need to raise a little bit of funding to keep our company going. And they just got out of that meeting. I called right when they got out of the meeting and they were like, maybe we should sell the domain name to this guy. And it funded their operations for a little bit longer. I still think they restructured and had bankruptcy, but it was just perfect timing. It wasn't really convincing. It was just perfect timing where they needed money at the exact same time.
Can you indicate how many figures this domain was?
I can't. We signed an NDA,
Okay.
but I think
Oh,
I think currently the name is worth a fortune because it gets covered by major media a lot.
Mhm.
It's been in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, CNN News, Fox News, Bloomberg, TechCrunch. It's been absolutely everywhere. So it's hard to get publicity like that. So I think the historical nature of it, plus the built-in publicity, makes it worth a lot. And it's honestly a lot more than I paid. I paid a very fair value, but that was 16 years ago.
Good. And you're also
wow,
running some
16
interesting
years.
content on the domain, is it?
Yeah, on the name now we have a domain scoring tool that's powered by AI, so it's free to use. You can type in any domain you own. It will give you a quality score based on all these criteria that we put in there. And there's also an Internet History Museum where you can explore the history of the web. It's just something fun for people.
Oh, good, very good. And how come at such an early stage you already started domain industry business?
That's a good question. When I was 18 to 20, I ran a lot of internet businesses just while I was in school. And I noticed every time I started a new business, I wanted to go get a good domain name and everything was taken. So I assumed there had to be an aftermarket where these names traded. And so just out of necessity, I started looking for domain names that were already owned because all the good things were taken even 20 years ago. And so I thought, wow, this is a lot easier to sell digital products like domain names than shipping physical items out. So I switched from selling those physical items to just buying and flipping domain names because it was a much more interesting industry and it was completely digital. I didn't have to box anything, ship anything, deal with returns and suppliers. So it just kind of came from little internet businesses to let me switch to domain names because it's easier and it's digital.
Great. So you have a talent foreseeing the future of domain business.
That'd be nice. I had some talent of foreseeing Bitcoin. I was buying that when it was $200, but I sold all of it early, thinking I was a genius because I tripled my money. So I have a little bit of foresight, but not a ton of foresight.
So can
But it's
people with
already
domains still come to you, like with two-letter domains, or get your expertise, or help you with brokerage and selling?
Mostly people come to me when they need a name. They say we have a set budget of X, call it $200,000. We want a one-word.com or a short.com. And then I go out to my network and say, here's what my buyer's budget is. What do you have? And so that's what I do in the domain space currently.
Great.
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your
Yes. Yep.
valuable
Yep. Yep.
insights.
You're welcome.